to us. So, as I started to say before, it is our habitual conduct to record anything in connection with our meetings. So I have started the recording process. So if any one of you has anything against it, should leave the meeting. I hope it is fine. The transcript and everything that we discussed today will be posted. We have a YouTube channel. I am not very acquainted with all these IT tools to disseminate information, but I hope it works according to your plans. So let us start. So we are here today for the action ECO4ALL, and also in reply to our colleagues represented by Carlos from another COST Action, in order to join together for this webinar, which is supposed to prove synergy and also to build further cooperation with colleagues from other universities. Well, there is, okay, thank you so much. If a microphone is starting together with the phone in the same room, we hear some noise that is not pleasant at all for our ears. So this seminar today is supposed to prove and to build synergy for further activities that we share with another COST Action. It was the invitation that emerged from them, and for us ECO4ALL is not only a good moment to work on our expertise and to improve our connection, but also to present what we have built until now. We are in our grant period number 2, so the second year of implementation of the project. We have 2 more to go, so it will be still time to shape and to prepare improved knowledge on the topics that we develop here today. Nevertheless, the results of the research that we have already accomplished during the first grant period are prepared for publication, at least some of them. And the presentation for today is, as I understand from my colleagues, something that's still ongoing in terms of shaping the final results and preparing the dissemination of what we have achieved. Before giving the floor to the colleagues from COST Action ECO4ALL, I would like to kindly ask Carlos to say a few words in the name of the COST Action that he is representing within this meeting, because you are also some distinctive representative for our COST Action, but the meeting today was organized as the result of your participation in the other COST Action. So please, Carlos, share a few words with us about your expertise and what you are developing in the other project.
Okay, so the other COST Action is called Grassroots of Digital Europe, from Historic to Contemporary Cultures of Creative Computing, and the acronym we use is GRADE, like grading papers, GRADE.
Okay.
And there I'm in action, or there's 3 different working groups, and I'm in working group 2. I'm the co-leader of working group 2 with Maryja Supa, who I haven't seen on the list of attendees yet, but hopefully she will join soon because she's going to be co-presenting with me. And that working group 2 is called Institutionalizing Digital Grassroots. And so one of the things that we've been we deal with various things. For example, we're currently working on a white paper on privacy issues in computing. We're also dealing with East-West media transfers. But before we were dealing with those, we decided that we were going to create open educational resources that would help teachers teach students about sustainability and circular economy. And so that's our main goal today, is to make people aware that these materials are available. They're open materials that can be edited, changed in any way. We just wanted to create something to hit the ground running so that people see that there's something there, and then they can fine tune it to any way they want. So we really want to get that message out. And if anybody has ideas on how we can best disseminate this material, which is available on our website, that would be great. We have this material up on the website for a few months, and it's 34 slides that pretty much takes an interdisciplinary or transdisciplinary approach to sustainability, circular economy. We have segments on Repair Cafe in there. That's our main goal with this. And all of the material is available. So if people don't pick up some of the details, or I don't elaborate enough on a particular slide, it's all available. And if people connect with us, we'll let them know how to get that material.
Okay, it sounds very interesting, and we are looking forward to hear your results so far and to see your presentation. It was actually what we discussed, Carlos. You may remember some while ago when you proposed this webinar, that we will have two speakers for each cost action in order to prevent such I don't know, misplaced, misorganized, technicalities or troubles that can emerge from things that are not depending on us. So we are very happy to have you here. And of course, if you want to share the screen, you are invited to do so. Please let us see what you have prepared.
Okay, so all right, let me see here. How do because Maria was going to take care of showing the slides. So if I want to share my screen, I just click on share, correct?
Yeah, you just click on share, yeah.
And then I'll be able to share what I have on my website.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, yes. So let's see if this works. Windows. Okay, it might work.
Yeah.
You can see? Okay, good. So
it is running now. Yeah, now we see exactly what you want to share. Is your screen. So please proceed.
Okay, so what I'm showing you is our actual web page. If you go to home for the grade web page, and let's see, is this going to do anything? Well, it's okay, it's doing something, but it's going slow. So when you go to the home page, this is the home page. And if you click on activities and go down to sustainability and creative computing, then you get the slides that we've created that are open educational resources. And it's going to open those up in a minute, but I'll just switch to it because I already have it open here. So I'm assuming when I switched, you can see sustainability, circular economy, and creative computing, open educational materials. Can you see that?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, good. So that's fine. I won't wait for the other one to open because this is what I was trying to open. Although I will go back because it opens this page. That's me right there. We have 3 short videos. Oops, I didn't mean to turn that on. We have 3 short videos that explain Repair Cafe, sustainability, circular economy. They're like 30 seconds each one. But right here, this is the slide deck that I already have open on the other web thing. And this is the sustainability and creative computing supporting materials. So every single slide in this supporting materials has a segment where it gives references, explains what certain acronyms are, a lot of supporting material there. Okay, so then if you click on this, rather than clicking on it and waiting for it to open, I'm just going to go to the open page here, Sustainability, Circular Economy, and Creative Computing. And Mihaela, tell me when my time is up, okay? Because when I start talking, I sort of lose track. And I look at the
No
clock.
worries. I will, yeah, no worries.
Okay.
I will also give you a 5 minutes warning before your time will end. Yeah.
Okay,
So
perfect.
feel free to express your opinion.
Okay, perfect. So the content of the presentation, the slides are divided up into the big picture, sustainability, circular economy, sustainable computing, digital transformation, creative computing, and then the right to repair section. So this is pretty much the big picture. Working Group 2 focuses on institutions in grassroots policy, how institutions make policies that affect grassroots. So that's why we've got it organized this way. And obviously the big picture is sustainability, with circular economy being part of that. And then creative computing, open source software and hardware, right to repair, all fit within those boxes. And then sustainability, we talk about what sustainability means, but I think you're all aware of what that means. And we talk about different kinds of sustainability: environmental, economic, social, human. Again, keep in mind that the idea of these slides are just to give people the opportunity to think about what we have created in a way that it's often easier to adapt and edit something that already exists to what you want, rather than from starting from scratch. So that's why we did this, was to make people's lives easier, especially teachers' lives. So embracing sustainable choices, we talk about being a guardian, not a consumer. Our greenwashing, somebody in Athens actually did an entire presentation on greenwashing, which I thought was really good. Educating and advocating, supporting conservation efforts. We talk about sustainable development goals, and then get into the 17 different sustainable development goals for people that aren't aware about them. We talk about the circular economy, which you're all aware of. And often people use the 5 R's. Zero Waste Alliance in Ireland has 6 R's, which I think are good. So that's what we used. Rethink, refuse to, use stuff that doesn't need to be used, reducing use, reusing materials, recycling, repairing. Then we get into sustainable computing, which your action may be less aware of, but you all know that computing uses a lot of energy. So that's one of the reasons that our working group too focused on this issue of sustainability, because we want to somehow embrace the creativity and opportunities that computing provides, but at the same time, being aware that it uses a lot of energy, and we have to do something to keep that energy in control, including trying to repair materials instead of just tossing a computer out when it gets old, which of course is what the computer making companies want, is for us to just get rid of stuff instead of fixing it. But our goal is to try to keep material in use rather than buying new material to use by repairing it. So we talk about what sustainable computing is. We talk about digital transformation. And because this material was put together by people from lots of different disciplines, some of these slides may have more influence from a business perspective, for example, because pretty much what we did when we decided to create these open educational resources is we invited everyone in our action to contribute ideas to what kinds of slides we should have. And just like this slide deck gives people ideas on how to take this foundation that we've created and then adapt them to their own teaching needs, by putting out the call for our cost action people to provide ideas. When people saw ideas that others had submitted, they said, oh yeah, but if we're going to talk about that, then we also need to talk about digital transformation, and we need to talk about business perspectives. And so this is one of the things I really love about cost actions, is the interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary aspect, where people bring different ideas that we don't necessarily encounter in our own fields, because I'm a political scientist, for example, but I know that I'm way more interdisciplinary as a result of this interaction with people that come from different fields and have different ways of looking at things. Then we talk about the positive impact of digital transformation, negative impact. And like I said, I'm not going into all the details that are on all the slides, because the slides are available. And if you go to that website, you easily can access them. And if you don't remember how to access them, you just let me know. This particular slide, for example, I believe was put together by a business person, someone that's in the business field, that wanted to show all the impact that is involved, not only from people perspective, but from partners, in terms of partners providing products, to a business that is itself taking those parts and then creating something new. So I don't normally organize what I present in this way, but this is the way people in business often present this kind of material. Then we talk about the EU framework for digital transformation in terms of, policies that they create. For example, in terms of the circular economy, there are certain policies that the EU has passed to help us have, repair cafes, for example. The fact that we can repair things, that businesses have to have a plan on repairing, not just tossing away. And that's largely from the policies that the EU has presented, which are covered in a later slide, I think when we get to repair cafe or something like that. So creative computing, as opposed to digital transformation, is more about the creativity that's involved. A lot of the people in our action come from grassroots gaming. They create games, they create all kinds of issues, and that creativity can help in terms of dealing with sustainability issues, for example. So the next bunch of slides talk about this creativity and how it can have an impact. It talks about different open source communities. I like, for example, to use Mozilla as a browser because it's more open source rather than Google or some other more private, let's call them private browsers. But that creativity in these kinds of open source resources, it invites more creativity. You probably just heard about the new artificial intelligence program that the Chinese created, and it's very different than ChatGPT or some of the others that existed, which were totally controlled by the company that had those. The Chinese one, despite the problems that there may be with the Chinese trying to capture people's information, it's an open source program. So that means creative people can take something and fix it so that the Chinese can't capture all that information. This is one of the powerful aspects of open resources, which sort of ties into, again, the slide deck, which is open resources that people can, with their own creativity, make better and use the way they want for their own purposes. These are some of the open source resources in communities. Okay, then we talk about different creative computing tools and technologies, blockchain technologies, how augmented reality or virtual reality can help people actually see how the circular economy works by by using that to get the message across, because sometimes getting the message that way instead of in writing is a lot more effective for some people. Or the Internet of Things devices that collect real-time data. I'm always very cautious about everything I use collecting so much data, but there are some advantages to it, because a smart waste bin, for example, can notify you that, hey, it's time to come and pick up the trash because it's full and we need more space. So like anything, there's advantages and disadvantages. Then it talks about collaboration platforms where people can work together to create new kinds of coding in controls. It also talks about the program language Scratch, which a lot of people use for creative aspects like stories, games, animations, these kinds of things. And this slide talks about some of the things I've already mentioned. It does mention 3D printing, which I hadn't mentioned yet, which can minimize material waste, for example. And then we get into the right to repair section. At a certain point, we decided, since we were dealing with sustainability, that and the right to repair issues, that we should create a repair cafe to sort of let the community where we meet come in and get their items repaired. That can be a little complicated sometimes, because administrators, especially often at universities, are very worried about people bringing in refrigerators or dangerous items. And, that all has to do with how it's publicized. You just publicize that only small items can be repaired and not big refrigerators, and that it can't have dangerous items. But, these are some of the difficulties in terms of dealing with creating repair cafes that I've had to deal with. Okay, you may be aware that the European Union has created regulations to make it easier to repair items. The European Commission adopted new consumer rights in March of 2023. In February of 2024, the European Council and Parliament accepted those concepts. And, once there's formal adoption, then those rules go into effect. And of course, one of the problems, I've read the policies, is you can always find loopholes, and companies are going to find loopholes when they can. Not just companies, people. Everybody creatively looks for loopholes if they need to find a loophole. And there's plenty of room for loopholes in these policies, but at least there are policies that are trying to deal with this issue. And there's lots of different repair cafe organizations that exist. Usually, like what I'll be doing for the Romania meeting first is checking in to see if any repair cafe kinds of organizations already exist in the area where we'll be meeting. But if I don't see any, then I will definitely connect with Mihaela and Sorin to see if they have ideas on how to make this work. But
we will work on that, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if there have been any repair cafes in your area?
I'm sure they are not until now, but maybe Sorin has another view.
Okay. Well, we can be the groundbreakers and create something new. But I mean, anything can be fixed. I'm actually going to a repair cafe in Lisbon. Lisbon has had a repair cafe for 15 years already. And I'm going on Saturday because the zipper on my leather coat broke. And you have to, for this repair cafe, you have to send in a proposal on what you want fixed. And then they tell you whether they're going to have the personnel and whether you're invited. And they accepted my invitation. So on Saturday, I'll be going in. But you can fix furniture, jewelry, tool and knife sharpening, computers. So many different things can be fixed. And sometimes they can't be fixed. In repair cafes, if it can't be fixed, the professional just says, well, unfortunately, this item has to be sent to the company or it's not fixable. But most of the times they're able to fix things. And,
5 more minutes.
Okay. Well, I think I can probably wrap up about now. So I've already talked about where this material came from. Most of you probably know about COST and how COST works, but of course, this last slide has a link to the GRADE site where one can get access to the material, but how does one get access to the material if they're not on this page already, which is already gotten from this material? So that's a little ironic, but okay. So again, my main goal is to let you know that we've created this material, which I guess has somewhat disappeared because I've moved so fast. There it is. And you know how to get access to it. If you can't find access to it so you can see these slides better, then let me know, or let Mihaela know, or someone know in the ECO4ALL action or in GRADE action, and we'll connect somehow. But what we really, really want to do is get this material out there so people realize that they can take this material, change it any way they want, so that they can teach the younger people or even older people, at senior universities, which there are a lot of in Lisbon, that there is a right to repair and that sustainability is important. That's our main goal. And that's my main goal today, is to invite you all to help me get this information out there better, because I've spread it as much as I can think of. And I have some people have been sending me some other ideas. Someone actually did a presentation in Athens also about teaching students from a different perspective, also about sustainability. So I'm going to connect with her. It was Dimitra. And ask her if she has ideas on how I can get this out, because she may have access to other networks that I don't have access to. But that's my main goal. So thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you, Carlos. It was a very interesting presentation about what you have already succeeded to develop as a research within GRADE project. I would like to ask you just to have a view on your COST action. What is the status of this action? You are actually more close to the end of implementing it, or how are things now developing?
No, I think we started maybe 6 months to a year before your action. So we're halfway. You're 1 year in, so we're 1 year longer than you. We're halfway in our action.
Mm-hmm. And how do you intend to develop the activities from here towards the end? I mean, you seem like in the position of having this material, which is, in my view, quite final and organized to be disseminated. So what's the plan for the second half of implementing your project?
Okay, so this is just one piece of what Working Group 2 does. Like I said, now we're focusing on a white paper that we're going to develop and share with the European community and professionals about privacy issues in computing and how to deal with privacy issues. Then we have the East-West transfer of digital material, whether it's gaming, this kind of stuff, that has existed for decades. We're going to have a major exhibition of that material somewhere. So this is just one piece of our pie.
Okay.
Our pie is more about creative computing than sustainability, but sustainability is an important piece of that pie.
Okay, I understand. I see it. Okay, so it looks wonderful, and I'm sure that you will be able to develop your results into a much higher degree of visibility as you intended with this presentation. I think it is time to give the floor to our colleagues to say a little bit about what we are doing in ECO4ALL. We have also Исидора and Sorin, the both speakers for the presentation they prepared. I don't know which one is first, so please feel free to jump in and to present us. Hello.
Hello, I think Isidora will be the first, and she will also upload the presentation.
Okay, I will, sorry, I will share presentation, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I'm afraid my connection is very weak, but I will start and I hope you can hear me well.
We hear you perfectly, and we see also the presentation, so everything is all right. As you probably noticed at the beginning, all the bad luck went away with my trouble, so you will not be experiencing none of this because it was me the one to lose the connection. It will not be you, so good luck.
Dear Mihaela and dear Carlos and all colleagues, it is a pleasure to be part of this webinar on sustainability and the circular economy. Together with Professor Anton Sorin, I will present our research on measuring circular economy challenges and opportunities conducted within the ECO4ALL COST Action. This research is based on initial analysis that highlight key challenges in the implementation of circular economy principles. However, the factor analysis we will present today provides a deeper quantitative perspective, revealing complex interconnections between various barriers and opportunities. This approach allows for a more comprehensive understanding of the factor shaping circular economy adoption. In today's world, the circular economy is recognized as a fundamental concept. Increasing concerns over rising resources consumption have prompted both governments and companies to adopt circular models. This concept has gained global significance as it addresses the issues of diminishing resources and the environmental challenges posed by a current linear economic model. It also encourages active customer participation in this process and active customer protection and education. It provides solutions for more efficient material use and recycling within industries, while also promoting policies encouraging sustainable economic growth at the governmental level. This concept encompasses various aspects, including adapting business models, redesigning products, and promoting responsible resource use. To promote sustainability and effective resource management, the circular economy has emerged as an innovative approach that links industries, governments, and customers. Additionally, it empowers consumers to adopt more responsible habits, engage in product reuse, and support circular business models. Of particular importance is the involvement of the customers in this process by raising their awareness of the importance of circular models, educating them about sustainable practices such as reusing, reducing, and repairing, and providing information about customer rights in the context of circular economy. The circular economy provides also numerous benefits, but presents some challenges for customers. The model operates on principles of make, use, return, or take, may, use, with the goal of reducing waste production. As a result, it has distinct implications for customers. In this context, the customer protection involves ensuring that products are safe, durable, and designed for repair or reuse. To successfully implement this concept, companies need to undergo structural changes while also fostering informed customers who comprehend the principles of circular business. And this approach ultimately contributes to sustainable development as a whole. The concept of circular economy has been extensively studied, particularly regarding general sustainable development and waste reduction strategies. However, significant gaps exist in understanding the specific aspects of its implementation at the international level, especially when considering countries' local specificities. Most existing research focuses on microeconomic policies, then technological innovations and industrial models, while there is a relatively little research which related with interactions between customer education and their specific needs. Further, another analysis is needed to understand how education and environmental awareness can overcome barriers to implementing a circular economy and adapt circular strategies to various socioeconomic and cultural contexts. In this sense, this paper seeks to fill existing gap through the analysis and answer the question, four research questions, such as how does working experience influence the perception of personal, organizational, and financial barriers in managing a circular value chain? The second research question, how does work experience influence the perception of institutional and infrastructural barriers to implementing the circular economy? The third research question is how does the country of origin, influence the perception of institutional barriers, such as the absence or low level of financial incentives and the effectiveness of recycling laws? And the fourth research question is how two different categories of challenges and opportunities, including knowledge, education, financial and institutional responsibility, consumer behavior and product sustainability, shape the implementation of the circular economy. For the purpose of this research, the aims of this research is to examine how strategic planning and management can contribute to a more efficient application of circular economy principles, emphasizing overcoming key barriers such as personal, organizational, and financial obstacles, as well institutional, infrastructural, and legal challenges. This research also analyzes how these barriers affect the strengths. Just a minute, I don't can see. Okay, the strengthening of environmental awareness and active engagement of customers, as well as the challenges associated with implementing circular strategies that must be adapted to local socioeconomic and cultural specificities in the countries involved in the ECO4ALL cost action. And the special focus is today's presentation is how different categories of challenges and opportunities such as knowledge, education, financial and institutional responsibility, consumer behavior, and product sustainability shape circular responsible consumer behavior and their willingness to adopt practices of reduction, reuse, and recycling. The literature review, the circular economy, according to Osken and another authors in 2020, the circular economy is an alternative to the traditional linear economy, which relies on the take, use, throw model by promoting a pattern of reusing, reducing, and repairing. In a circular economy, resources are kept utilized for as possible to maximize their value. Once products and materials have served their purpose, they cannot be discarded. They should be returned and reused and also repaired. The circular economy as a sustainable approach aims to reduce the negative effects of the linear economy by building long-term resilience in business and economic circumstances while providing significant environmental and social benefits. According to Boken, in 2016, strategies play a key role in implementing circular approaches, enabling organizations to extend the life of products, reuse waste, and reuse resource efficiently. Well-designed strategies promote economic and environmental benefits and raise awareness of circular practices through the engagement of customers and other relevant stakeholders. Strategic management in circular economy is a key factor for achieving sustainability and encouraging consumers' active participation. Also, in the context of circular economy, strategic management overcoming traditional business goals by incorporating sustainability, resource efficiency, and social responsibility into the core circular economy strategies. These dual focus benefits for both for customers and for companies, driving value creation while reducing environmental impact. The European Commission proposes changes to the law on customers in the European Union to encourage greater consumer participation in the circular economy. Consumer behavior plays a significant role in this process, in the success of companies that apply circular principles in their business. According to Islam in 2021, consumer behavior research can help companies to find appropriate methods to improve aspects of the circular economy that will serve consumers through their consumption and raise awareness about disposal, recycling, and repairing. According to Shevchenko, in 2023, the active participation and of end customers is a key factor in transition to circular economy, as it influences the demand for products that support this model. Now, Sorin can talk about methodology and describe how survey was conducted.
Okay, thank you very much, Isidora. I hope you can hear me well. So I will say a few words about the methodology behind our research conducted within the framework of COST Action ECO4ALL. So our study is based on a comprehensive survey covering 30 countries, and up to now we have 165 respondents, providing a broad and diverse data set for analysis. We employed a structured online survey, allowing for data collection across different regions. In the survey, we collect data on demographic profile of respondents. We gather information about the gender, age, level of education, and working experience. And in the second part, we move to questions related to the development of circular economy in the country of residence of each respondent. Up to now, we can say that the responses collected serve as the foundation for quantitative analysis, enabling us to draw meaningful insight and formulate some policy recommendation at both national and European level. Also, I will like to highlight that the robustness of our data set is confirmed by the value of Cronbach alpha coefficient of around 0.97. And now I will invite Исидора to discuss the main results.
Okay, thank you. Before proceeding to detailed demographic analysis of the respondents, how Sorin said, the measurement instruments should be analyzed and assess its reliability, which was checked, and calculate value of Cronbach coefficient alpha for entire data set, which was very high level of reliability of the instrument with 0.978 and recommended values is more than 0.7, and these results represent a very high level of reliability of the measurement instrument. These results confirm that the measuring instrument is adequate for assessing the selected parameters and provides justifications for continue the research with a more detailed analysis of the data. After data collection and initial analysis were completed, incomplete the respondents were eliminated for the sample, resulting in the final set of 165 valid questionnaires. The first table depicts the demographic characteristic of the respondents, where, how Sorin said, the questions such as gender, age, level of education, work experience years, and the country of origin were analyzed. This table showed all of this data, where the most respondents were women with 65.5%. The age groups are diverse, with the most respondents were in a group of 41 to 50 year old with 30.3%, following by this between 80 to 30 and 30 to 40 years. Then in the term of education, the majority of respondents have a doctoral degree with 60.6%. For work experience varies, with the largest number of respondents reporting with between 11 to 20 years of experience with 30.3%, while groups with less than 5 years with 20.2% and over 30 years with 14.5%, and etc. Respondents come. This next question. The respondents come from 30 different countries involved in the ECO4ALL COST action in that moment when analysis was processed. But now for today's data, it was included one more countries, and total countries which involved in this research were 31 countries. The most respondents participated from Turkey with 70%, the Republic of Moldova with 60.4%, Serbia with 20.7%, and Czech Republic with 9.7%. Further analysis examined the relationship between demographic characteristics of respondents, such as work experience and country of origin, and barriers that limit circularly responsible consumer behavior. This approach allowed for a deeper understanding of the intercorrelations between these variables, providing a basis for formulating conclusions and identifying factors that influence consumer behavior in circular economy context. The relationship between customer work experience and the perception of personal, organizational, and financial barriers was examined, where two questions within this group of questions were analyzed, such as a high initial investment and short-term interest of stakeholders.